Let's get to a little West Virginia before we let you go and drive. uh, our comments are lit up with people who are convinced West Virginia is going to the ACC, and people are convinced that it's not going to happen.
Well, we are at the same place we've been for the last few weeks.
We are. But what I want to do today is give a little pitch for the ACC. And this is someone, one of our Twitter followers actually hit me up with these numbers. We were having a little chat. So shout out to Twitter if you're not following us on there, HJ Talk Sports. So he hit me with some numbers. This is the 2019 Big 12 average viewership games, not including Texas and Oklahoma. West Virginia averages 1 million, just over 1 million viewers per game. The next highest is Baylor, which is 1 million, about 10,000 less than them. Everyone else in the Big 12 is not even close, really. Iowa State comes a little bit closer with 700,000. So West Virginia, aside from Oklahoma and Big 12, maybe Baylor, is blowing out the viewership ratings in the Big 12. The next stat they hit me with, again, shout out to Twitter. Oklahoma at WVU in 2018 was the third highest rated ESPN Friday Night Football game in history with 5.6 million viewers. Now, as our Twitter follower said, Oklahoma gets a lot of the credit for that. But the number 2 highest rated game in ESPN history, Boston College versus WVU in 1993 with 5.6 million viewers. So one of the knocks against WVU is the market size. Obviously, it's a smaller region, but listen, we put up some TV numbers.
Yeah. I mean, that's good. That helps.
Yeah, and I mean, when you look at the ACC, you're telling me adding WVU to the ACC and playing some of these teams like freaking WVU versus Pitt, Wake Forest, Boston College, some of these teams, man, if you put WV in there, you're telling me they're not going to do better numbers with West Virginia than they would playing some other teams in that division?
Could be.
Florida State, I mean, come on. There's no way.
Yeah.
I think the market's bigger than people give West Virginia credit. I think you look on a map and you see how small it is and you say, well, there's Maryland and there's Pitt and there's Georgia and you got all these markets surrounding it. But the TV numbers are there. And I think if you give West Virginia a national market, it's even bigger.
I agree. I think the West Virginia fans are, let me see, how am I trying to word this? I think for them, less fair weather fans, whereas some of these other teams, they're going to follow their teams more if they're only having a really good season.
Mm-hmm.
West Virginia, I mean, of course, that's true with West Virginia as well, but I think not to the same extent as some of the other teams.
Yeah, West Virginia fans travel, and especially those big games, you're getting the viewership numbers.
One thing I will say that would be bad about the ACC that I haven't heard a lot of people talk about is most of the ACC games, or a lot of them, are on this ACC network.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear a lot of complaints about when WVU just plays on FS1. So I can only imagine what it'd be like with the ACC network.
Oh, you mean not a lot of people get it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of people get it. Not a lot of people are going to want to pay extra for it.
Yeah.
I think that hurts. And, being out there. I'm not sure why the ACC does that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's probably more money for them.
Yeah.
But I think it hurts your brand being in those networks. Because you're not out there. Like when you're on ESPN, everybody's going to watch you. More people are going to watch you. It's easier for people to access the game. When you're playing a lot of your league games and the ACC network, you're going to have an issue. That could be an issue that hurts the program later on.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong there. But despite that, we do those numbers. So even though everyone complains about the channel and it's FS1 or if it's this and it's extended programming, we're still averaging 1 million, which is, almost double what these other teams in the Big 12 are doing per game.
Yeah.
So despite that, And, you know, other things, that's just viewership. Upgraded, Neil Brown's been showcasing the upgraded facilities in the football arena, the state-of-the-art facilities they just added to there. He's revamping the whole program. We have the top 20 recruiting class in 22, West Virginia's highest ranked recruiting class ever. I saw someone do a post about, you know, there's a lot of talk about the education standards of WVU, but apparently if you would add WVU to the ACC, we would have the third highest number of laureates in the whole entire ACC. So I think a lot of people knock it because of the whole Big East, you know, that whole thing where we couldn't get in or it was late or whatever was going on. But I really don't think it's the same.
Yeah.
I don't think we're a lock by any means. I don't think they got an invitation, but I think we're better off. And I think something's in the work. I mean, we've talked a lot about the way the athletic directors talked. Nico Marchiol letting something slip on the radio. I don't know if it's the ACC, but I think they got something going on.
Could be. Hopefully we get some news. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing pressing. It could be, you could get news in a couple of weeks, could be a couple months, maybe not even for a year or two.
Yeah.
It
could be a while. Yeah. We don't know. I mean,
depends on how quick Oklahoma and Texas get out of the Big 12. Depends on the urgency of the stuff.